ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः।14th chapter. अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः।
अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
परं भूयः प्रवक्ष्यामि
परं भूयः प्रवक्ष्यामि
ज्ञानानां ज्ञानमुत्तमम्
ज्ञानानां ज्ञानमुत्तमम्
यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे
यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे
परां सिद्धिमितो गताः।
परां सिद्धिमितो गताः।
Once again, श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
परं भूयः प्रवक्ष्यामि
परं भूय प्रवक्ष्यामि
ज्ञानानां ज्ञानमुत्तमम्
ज्ञानानां ज्ञानमुत्तमम्
यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे
यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे
परां सिद्धिमितो गताः।
परां सिद्धिमितो गताः।
We completed the 13th chapter in the last class. 13th chapter being the first chapter of the last third of the Bhagavad Gita, the Ishvara Shatkam. The Ishvara Shatkam, or rather Aikya Shatkam, excuse me, Aikya Shatkam, Jiveshvara Aikya Shatkam, Asipada Vichara Shatkam. And so we can expect this similar theme to continue, and 13, 14 also. And so in the 13th chapter, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitta Vidhiyate. The whole world is Kshetram. And this body, what about this body? Body also, put it in the category of Kshetram. You are not the body. Okay. Then what about who am I? Kshetrajna iti tat kshetram yoveti tam prahuhu. Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. Those who know that I am not the body, I am the knower of the body. That That knower is I. Like that. Kshetra, Kshetrajna Vibhaka Yoga. That is how Krishna had started that chapter. Here also, here there is no question from Arjuna. Okay. Param bhuyaha pravakshyam. I'm going to tell you again, he says. Without a question, he seems to say that. Okay. Without a question, he says, Param bhuyaha. Bhuyaha means once again. Once again, pravakshyami. I will teach you. I'll tell you, I'll teach you. Pravakshyami. Same thing. Same thing. But if I use the same words, if I repeat the same slokas, then you'll wonder, what is this? You're just telling the same word, same sloka. Is this a chanting class or what? That's what you'll ask. No, no, this is not a chanting class. So let it not be a chanting class. I'll use the same message, but different words. I'll tell you. Tell you in different words. Okay. Two or three reasons why. First reason is, well, the message is Sukshmam. We saw that. Sukshmam Anuresha Dharmaha. So Sukshmam, it's good to listen. It will take some time. And therefore, one reason to repeat the same message. Okay. Another reason, listening to something again, Shastram again, is now taking a, suppose Shravanam is over. Shravanam is over. I've heard all this. Now, why should I listen to again? Well, Shravanam becomes Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasana. Because we need that. We have to, the reorientation takes time. Nididhyasana. And then a third reason is there. The same topic can be approached differently also. Differently. It gives a different perspective. Same message finally. Jiveshwara Aikyam, you can, there are many ways you can say it, but it's Jiveshwara Aikyam. Ham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahma. You can't say it any different. But in our Shastram unfolds this in using different methodologies called prakriyas. I told you this before. Good time for us to remind ourselves. It's called prakriya, methodology. Drik drishya viveka prakriya. Okay? Drik, seer, drishya, seen. So you'll have, there's a text written by Shankaracharya called Drik drishya viveka. They say seer, seen, discrimination. Like that it's translated. So the identifying the distinction between the seer, which is me, and seen means perceived, cognized, objectified, objectifier differentiation, perceived, perceiver differentiation. That clarity has to be there. That's called Viveka. So a teaching which uses that methodology is called Drik Drishya Viveka Prakriya. Correct? All right. Next, another Prakriya, tell me. What can that be? Well, Karana Karya Prakriya. Karana Karya Prakriya. Hey, here is a pot. But there is also something called clay. Like that in the Shastram talks. The two things called pot and clay. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. I'm getting it. Then, like that, if we start discussing, and Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam, Vivarta Upadana Karanam, clay is the cause of the pot, Karanam, Karyam. Karyam depends on Karanam for its existence. Karanam does not depend on anything else for its existence. Like that, if Shastra starts talking, what is that Prakriya called? Karana Karya Prakriya. Correct? Karana Karya Prakriya. All right. That's a methodology. That also will lead us to the same Atma, same Brahma. Yeah. Avasthatraya Prakriya. The three states of experience. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Three states of experience. That analysis also leads to the same thing. How? Well, am I a waker or what? Well, if you're a waker, then you can't dream. Become a dreamer. Or if you're a dreamer, then you can't have a dreamless sleep. Then the dreamless sleep I am? Well, okay. That which is independent of these three states of experience, which the Mandukya says, Turiya, that is who you are. You are the Atma. Like that, we arrive at Atma through that. So these are all different prakriyas. 13th chapter, Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga is which prakriya? One of well, it has to be one of these three. Which one it is? Tell me. Huh?
Karana-karya prakriya.
Drigdrishya prakriya. Kshetram yo veti tat rahu. Kshetram yo veti, one who knows the kshetra, one who is the seer of the kshetra, one who is the objectifier of the kshetra is kshetrajna. Drigdrishya prakriya. Yeah, viveka prakriya. All right. What about this chapter that we are about to start? It says Gunatraya Vibhaga. Gunatraya Vibhaga. Previously, what we got?
Avastatraya. Avastatraya prakriya.
Is the answer to which question?
You just asked this chapter, 14th chapter.
Yeah. 14th
So
chapter.
I say that is Avastatraya prakriya.
Yeah, so it can be Avasthatraya Prakriya also. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. All right. See. So previous thing is what? Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga. Prakriti Purusha Vibhaga Yoga. Correct? Like that we can say. Here, its title is given as Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Gunatraya. Gunatraya. Entire Jagat is what? Sagunam. Entire Jagat is Sagunam. Sagunam. Gunatraya is Sagunam. Saguna Nirguna Vibhaga Yoga. That must be the chapter here. Why is it called Gunatraya? Okay, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Once you know the Gunatraya, then Aham Gunatita. Aham Nirgunam. Only Nirgunam can objectify Sagunam. That's the idea. So a different approach here. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. And so you can say Avasthatraya. That's where Haraprasadji is saying. This seems like Avasthatraya Sakshi Prakriya. Yeah, that's should make us think like that. So it could be. That's right, Avasthatraya. Because I am neither of the three avasthas. Like that, I am neither of the three gunas. Right? And so, good.
Guruji, what about Atma and Atma Prakriya?
Yeah, Atma and Atma Prakriya. I've not heard of that Prakriya, but if it is there, I think that's good. We can use that Prakriya. So, Drigdrishya is also fine. There is no fixed set of Prakriyas. If something looks a little different, you can call it a Prakriya.
Guruji,
Yeah.
we've been associating or Krishna has been associating gunas with Prakriti all along. So is this not a deeper dive into the Prakriti aspect of Drikadrisha?
Yeah, so Prakriti, that's what it is. It's the same thing, really. Drigdrishya. Drik is Sagunam. Sorry, Drishya is Sagunam. Drik is Nirgunam. So it will fall. There is no hard line between these Prakriyas, right? Just the starting point is different. Okay. So this is also Drigdrishya only. Avasthatraya, if you stretch it, you can make it into Avasthatraya. Because all the three avasthas are Guna Sahitam. And Turiya is Nirgunam, which is Drik. All right. So here also, so Gunatita, I am Gunatita, that will be the conclusion of this chapter also. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga or Gunatraya Gunatita Vibhaga Yoga. Okay. All right. So look at the shloka. Param Bhuyaha. I'm going to tell you again. Bhuyaha, once again, Punaha Pravakshyami. Bhuyaha Pravakshyami. Once again, I'm going to tell you. Okay. And then, what am I going to tell you? Param Jnananam Jnanam Uttamam. Jnananam Jnanam. Jnanam Pravakshyami. I'm going to teach you that same knowledge that I told you before. That same Nahi jnanena sadesham pavitram vidyate. That jnanam only. Upadekshanti te jnanam. That same jnanam only I'm going to talk to you. And what kind of knowledge it is? Param jnanam. Uttamam jnanam. Greatest. Param also is greatest or limitless. Greatest knowledge. Greatest knowledge. Param is, it looks like two synonyms are used here. And so, when in these kinds of problems occur, you shouldn't go to the dictionary. You should go to Shankaracharya's Bhashya. That is the best. Then from there, if you want, you can go to the dictionary. But first, start with Shankara's Bhashya. And so, there he says, first he says, Param Jnanam. Shankaracharya says, Param Jnanam Pravakshyami. Param Jnanam Pravakshyami. He says, this Jnanam is about what? About a subject which is very different from everything else you have studied. Vishaya is very different. This Vishaya is called Paravidya or Paravidya. Everything else you studied so far is Aparavidya. Knowledge of the finite. This is knowledge of the infinite. The topic of the infinite and the self will take me to infinite. It's a topic of the self versus topic of the non-self. Okay. Therefore, from that perspective, this is Param. Okay. This is greatest because it's Anatma is easy to figure out. Anatma is available right in front of you. Atma is not available. Therefore, it is Param. Somebody who says, I want this Param, that guy must be a Viveki. Okay. Because he wants to know what is not obvious at all. All right. So, Vishaya Drishtya Param Jnanam. And then, which was called Rajavidya in the 9th chapter. Rajavidya, right? Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, all that we can bring here. Then, Uttamam, then why should you say? Then Shankaracharya says, Phala Drishtya Uttamam. Well, what is the use of all this stuff? So, what if it is subtle and all? Well, don't say like that because the result of this knowledge is Uttamam, is the greatest. Anatma Vidya can make you a scholar, can make you get awards and things like that. But guess what? Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Manam. Maximum I can say, I have a resume that runs to 15 pages. I used to remember, when we were writing resumes for the first time after, I was graduating. PhD was done, and then now I have to look for a job. I've never written a resume. Maybe long ago somewhere we wrote. And so they had all these training sessions to write resumes. And we got some resumes. The major professor, our professor's resume also somehow I got. And you look at the professor's resume. His resume is running to 15 pages. And you just look at it and say, what is the connection between this resume and me? That's the thought you get. Okay. And so no, that's not a right exam. Don't look at that. Get some resumes that will end up being more like your resume. And then you develop your resume. Okay. So you say I have this many accomplishments. That is all. That is all. Apara Vidya, as told by Mundaka Upanishad, Dve Vidye Veditavye. Dve Vidye Veditavye. Parachaiva Aparacha. Okay. And so, but here, this is, what is the result of all this? This result is, Na jayate briyate va kadachit. That's the kind of result. No other Vidya, Apara Vidya cannot give me that result. Punajarma bhavaha. Okay. Abhayatvam. Freedom, that's it over. I am the whole. Therefore, there won't be any anxiety anymore. No more fear. Fearlessness will come. Okay. That's the results. That's the greatest result. Nobody else can give me fearlessness. People can teach me how to manage my fear. That's available. We all do that. But here it's absence of fear, etc. So perishable result versus imperishable I, that is the result. Yeah. All right. So yad jnatva, what happens? Yad jnatva. What is that result? Can you tell me? Yeah. Munayaha sarve. Sarve munayaha. All the munis, munis. Muni, manana, same thing. Muni also comes from the same root as man. Chintanam. All the people who like to think about things like this, who, when somebody tells you that, hey, it's not what you think it is. Somebody says, then immediately you say, what do you mean? And so, like that, you have the ability to probe into stuff. And such people are called munis, mananashila. That's the meaning of a muni, literal meaning of a muni. And not somebody who has a long beard and things like that. Our Mama Chitrakatha makes us think like that, uh, so Munayaha, Mananashilaha, they are all adhikaris. They have Vivekam, Vairagyam, Shamadamadi, Shatka Sampatti, and Mumukshutam, everything is there. And so such people, Munayaha Sarve, uh, what do they do? Gataha, Param Siddhim Ito Gataha. Gataha. They become those who gain. They gain. Gataha here means gain. They reach. They reach means they gain. What do they gain? Param Siddhim Gataha. Param Siddhim Gataha. Param Siddhi, the greatest goal. Siddhi is a goal. What can be the goal? Any goal within the field of Apara Vidya is going to be limited. After that goal, I will be happy and then I will be unhappy. Then I have to become happy. Then I have to have another goal. Then I'll be happy. Then I'll be unhappy. Then I'll need another goal. Like this constantly. Constant it is. Never will I say, never can I say, I'm completely fulfilled. Not possible. So here, Param Siddhim, the greatest goal they gain. And greatest goal. Here I wrote Kabir's Doha. I forgot to tell you that. If I say I have a resume of 15 pages, Kabir Das says, Bada hua to kya hua? Bada hua to kya hua? Okay, you're a big man. So what? You're a very big man. You're accomplished. Okay. Kya hua? Jaise ped khajur. Like you are like a fig tree, date tree, and this dry fruit, date tree. Okay, you are like a date tree. What about that date tree? Panthi ko chaya nahi. It doesn't give shade at all to the people who are traveling. It doesn't give any shade. Not only that, phal lage ati dur. And you can't access the fruit also. The fruit is so high, you can't even reach the fruit. So what is the use of this tree, date tree, like that? Kabir is saying, Kabir Das. So, therefore, Param Siddhim, Gataha, Itaha, Ito Gataha, Itaha Gataha. Itaha means what? From here. From here means what? Obviously from here only. Where else? From where else? From where else means there is no detour. There's no detour going to this heaven and that heaven. Finally, I'll end up there, etc. No, no. Right here, just sitting where you are. First, Jivan Muktitvam, Jivan Muktaha, free here itself. Then afterwards, free. How? No other birth at all. And so, Jivan Mukti is there, and Videha Mukti also is there. So, Itaha, from here itself. From here, being here, Ihai Vatairjita Sargaha. Where did we see that? Fifth chapter. Ihai Jitaha Sargaha. They have won over samsara, ihaiva, while living here itself. Okay. So it's an introduction. First few shlokas are going to be introductory like this. So let's translate the shloka. Sri Bhagavan said, Sri Bhagavan said, I shall again tell clearly. I shall again tell clearly. The ultimate and the most exalted knowledge. The ultimate and the most exalted knowledge among all forms of knowledge. Jnananam. Among all forms of knowledge, gaining which all the sages had reached the ultimate success. From this or from here. Ultimate success from here. Sri Bhagavan said, I shall again tell clearly the ultimate and the most exalted knowledge among all forms of knowledge, gaining which all the sages had reached the ultimate success from here. Next shloka. Idam jnanamupaashritya
Idam jnanamupashritya
mama sadharmyamagataha
mama sadharmyamagataha
sargepi nopajayante
sarge pinopajayante
pralaye navyatanti te.
pralaye na vyathanti te.
Idam jnanamupashritya
Idam jnanamupashritya
mama sadharmyamagataha
mama sadharmyamagataha
sargepi nopajayante
sarge pinopajayante
pralaye navyatanti che pralaye navyatanti cha.
pralaye na vyathanti cha.
So further, what is the benefit of this knowledge is talked about? Again, this is an introduction. Greatest knowledge previously, param jnanam, uttamam jnanam. Okay, and what is that? What is that which you told me last time as param siddhim itaha gataha? That is being said here. Idam jnanam upashritya. Idam jnanam, this knowledge, upashritya, resorting to or knowing which. Previously it said yad jnatva. Here the same thing. Idam jnanam upashritya. Knowing which. By gaining this knowledge, what happens? Mama sad. Mama sadharmyam agataha. Mama sadharmyam agataha. There he said gataha. Here agataha. They have come towards agataha. They come towards what? My nature. Sadharmyam. They have come towards my nature. Means they have gained oneness with me. Mama sadharmyam agataha. What could that sadharmyam be? See, Ishwaratvam. Ishwaratvam. Any attribute of Ishvara you can take. Okay. And obviously it doesn't refer to the Upadhi. Ishvara's Upadhi. Ishvara is the creator of the entire world. Jagat Karanam. Jagat Karta he is. But I am not Jagat Karta. Why? Because when I say I am not Jagat Karta, I am referring to my body. I am a Karta very much, but I am not Jagat Karta or not. I can create a few things. Okay. But that is not being equated here at all. So, mama sadharmam means what can be equated only we have to talk about. So, all that sarva gatatvam is there. Avinashi, Ishvaraha Avinashi, I am also Avinashi.
I'm sorry.
Aja, Ajaha, I am not born ever. Amarana dharmam is there. I cannot die. No chance. Matter itself cannot perish. What are you talking about me? I cannot die. Consciousness cannot die at all. So these are the dharmas, sadharmyam and purnatvam, ananda swarupam is there. So that's what I finally want. Finally, that's what I want. I want freedom. Freedom from all these limitations. Freedom from fear. Udaramantaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad. Even little bit of difference I create, Dvaita, little bit also. Little bit of difference between me and God also, if I create, then fear of God will be there. Fear of God. Greatest Bhakta also will have fear of God. And so, that Adhyaya Swarupam is there. Freedom from insecurity, freedom from finitude. And Swamiji brings this idea also. Samsari, as Satish Ji has said, freedom from slavery. He uses the word slavery. Dasa bhava. I am constantly doing namaskar to somebody. Namaskar is okay. But I depend on so many things. Whole life I'm depending. Where I should not depend also, I depend. They make me depend. And so constant dependence is there. Okay, the body depends on things, that's fine. But body dependence, I'm not worried about. Emotional dependence, I worry. Emotional dependence, mentally, I depend. Vulnerability is there. So previously I was dasaha. I'm a victim of situations. I'm a victim of people. I'm a victim of all the navagrahas, Rashi and dasha. All these people, all these things just victimize me. What happened? Shani dasha is starting. Oh my God! So this thing won't stop for another 7.5 years. That also. Already I have enough problems. And on top of that, Shani Dasha is coming in. So there is no end to this. But then after this jnanam, idam jnanam upashritya, that person becomes what? Swami. Previously Dasa, now Swami. Only in this culture you have Swami Bhava. Swami. They are identical. Ishvara also. No longer Ishvara is separate. Aparoksham. Whatever was paroksham was made aparoksham. And so that Swami Bhava is there. Sadharmyam. Ihaivata sargaha. 5th chapter, we saw that. Yeah? So, even while living, this is accomplishable. These people gain that mama sadharmyam. Yeah? And what about sargepi nopajayante? What about next janma? Sargaha means creation. Sargaha means life. New thing, something comes up, is called sargaha. And so, what sargepi? Next life, let it come. Next creation, let it come. Na upajayante ajo. Why? Because ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha na jayate. Once na jayate is there, Atma is never born anyway. Only the Jiva is born again and again. And so, now that I know, Jivatvam is superimposed on Atma. The superimposition is understood. Is understood. Therefore, I'm not really a jiva. I am Atma, playing the role of a jiva, right? Therefore, sarge api na upajayante. They are not born. They are not born. There's no more second birth for them. And so, punarjanma na vidyate. Punarjanma nahi hai. So that means what? Jivan mukta ihaiva tayajjita sargaha. 5th chapter. Jivan mukta muktihi. Because jnanam can happen only when alive, not after death. That can't happen. So knowledge means what? Only a thinking person who is alive, who is not in coma, can get knowledge. And so simply sitting and closing the eyes, nobody can get knowledge. Okay. And so, not sargepi. After gaining knowledge, you can close your eyes, do whatever. You don't have to attend classes, nothing, free. Freedom. Nobody can say, even the guru can't say, oh, Shishya, where are you? What Shishya? Then Shishya will say, Guru or naiva Shishya. And then where Guru has to run around. So, oh my God, you have learned so much from me. And so, pralaye na vyathanti cha. And cha. Pralaye. See, our understanding of life is such. We are not thinking about just this life. Our rishis have gone beyond, before and future also they have thought through. And they talk about things like pralaya. Big Bang, their science is talking about. That's how it started, it seems. Okay, Big Bang chalega. And then pralaya. I don't know if science is going to talk about pralaya or not, and not. Maybe they've done, you know. And this we talk about pralaya. Pralaya means the dissolution of the entire Brahmaji's night. Brahmaji is sleeping. Yeah, we have to pray to Brahmaji. I don't know why we don't pray to Brahmaji. Because I think this guy is going to live so long. There's no chance. In my lifetime, he's not going to sleep. And so we don't worry about that. I think as the time closes, after many, many years, I think they will start having prayers to Brahmaji also. I feel. Because Pralaya is going to come, you know. So I don't know. We will have to see.
We did the 51st day, I think.
We are in the 51st, so we have a long time. That's one type of pralaya. And then every day also is a type of pralaya. And so what about that pralaya, my dear friend? Pralaye na vyathanti. They are unafraid of pralaya. Nobody's death. They are afraid. The ultimate fear of death is our death only. The death of this body. That is what causes me the greatest fear. And pralaya, everything is gone. Yeah, that also can cause fear. And so they don't come to grief by the pain of death, nor do they suffer death during pralaya, because death doesn't. Maranam na vidyate for Atma. There is no such thing called maranam. Therefore, no more grief. Okay. All right. So, fairly straightforward statements here. Let's look at the meaning. Resorting to this knowledge, those who have gained oneness with me, those who have gained oneness with me, do not come to be born even when there is creation. Do not come to be born even when there is creation. And they do not perish in the dissolution, within brackets, of creation. Resorting to this knowledge, those who have gained oneness with me do not come to be born even when there is creation, and they do not perish in the dissolution of creation. Next.
Can you please repeat it, Mahodaya? I didn't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. Resorting to this knowledge, those who have gained oneness with me do not come to be born even when there is creation, and they do not perish in the dissolution, within brackets, of creation. Next. Mama yonirmahad brahma
मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म
tasmin garbham dadhamyaham
तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहम्
sambhavah sarvabhutanam
सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां
tato bhavati bharata
ततो भवति भारत
mama yonirmahad brahma
मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म
tasmin garbham dadhamyaham
तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहम्
sambhavah sarvabhutanam
सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां
tato bhavati bharata.
ततो भवति भारत
So here, this Srishti is talked about. Srishti. And to some extent, Srishti has to be understood. Because when the message is Atma is whole, Brahma is whole, Atma is that Brahma, whole means complete. This Jagat is all we can visualize when somebody says Purnam, universe and all that. Universe means what can you imagine? You can imagine the earth, you can imagine solar system, you can imagine go beyond that. You can go beyond that and imagine the whole space you can imagine. That is Jagat. Okay. And Shastram says everything is Atma. How do I know it? Through all the prakriyas. This prakriya is enough. Pot is enough to figure it out. Correct? Karana karya prakriya. Because if pot is an object that I thought was real, well, it has a dependent reality. That's what Vedanta says. Vedanta doesn't say it's unreal, non-existent, delusion, illusion. We don't use those words. Hey, yeah, pot does exist, but make sure you understand clay properly before you give reality to pot. 100% reality, be careful. Pot is there, sitting right there, right in front of you, not hiding behind pot. It's there. Entire pot is clay, my dear friend. Entire pot is clay. This one example is enough to say the whole Jagat is Brahma. Correct? Okay. That being the case, we have to ask, okay, then now you can say, I know the universe. Essentially, I know the universe. That is what our student in Mundaka asked the question, direct question. Kasminnu bhagavo vijnate sarvam idam vijnatam bhavati iti. Tell me that one thing which if I know, it's as good as knowing the entire Jagat. Look at the question. That's what he's talking about. Chandogya, same thing. Vrittike teva satyam. There he uses the clay example. It's father is teaching the son. Okay. So when something like that happens, then somewhere along the line the question will come. You can't simply, the student won't keep quiet. How did this creation come? How did Atma become this world? How did Atma become an Atma? All these questions will come. Okay. And so you say I'm confused. How did I become confused? All these questions will come. So the world has to be talked about. We don't need to know exactly how many elements are there, 120, 130, all these details we don't need to know. What is the evolution process? We don't need to know. How many planets are there? How many solar systems are there? We don't need to know. We don't need to know all the details. Why? Because everything is Brahma. Finally, you are going to drive everything down to Brahma. That's the greatest discovery. Rest are just okay. Let it be. Let it be. Poisons are there. Nutritious foods are there. All these are there. I understand all that. Okay. So, therefore, here he is mentioning creation as he has mentioned before also. And Before also, 13th chapter, 19th shloka, take a look. Prakritim purushan chaiva vidhyanadi ubhavapi vikarans chagunans chaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. So there he says, hey, these are all these changes, all these things which you observe, which where you are actually observing gunas there, and vikaras. Guna means vikara, change. And you love change. That's why you say you love variety, and variety is the spice of life, etc. Okay, fine. Uh, but first, let's understand slowly. And Prakriti Sambhavan, these are all created by Prakriti. Prakriti's nature is change, like that he had mentioned there. He didn't say I created it. Okay. Here he's going to say, look at what he's going to say. Okay. Before creation, Purusha and Prakriti were there. Correct? Purusha and Ubhav. What did he say? Vidhyanadi Ubhav in 13th chapter. Both of them were there. Both of them will always be there. Prakriti and Purusha were always there. Okay. And they are uncreated. Maya is uncreated. Purusha also is uncreated. Because the minute you say they were born, then gone. Born means gone. Born will be gone after some time, right? Therefore, they can't be born. Okay. And so what are their gunas? Purusha's guna, you know what it is. Chetanam, Satyam, Sat, existence, right? And then Nirgunam and Nirvikaram. Prakriti, nature is the opposite of these things. Achetanam, Mithya, Sagunam, and Savikaram. Okay, changing gunas. Okay, and then what happens? Then who creates this world? Who creates this world? Well, Maya cannot create the world without Purusha. Maya cannot create the world without Purusha because Maya is inert. Maya needs some energy, like electricity is needed. Bulb is of no use without electricity. So Purusha gives that power, makes the Maya asto conscious, like the body is asto conscious. Body is not conscious, body is inert, but it's asto conscious. That asto consciousness is enough for the body to do magic, mind to do magic. Okay, and so both of them have to be together. Purusha plus Prakriti is what we saw so far. Okay, Vidyanadi Ubhav api. Then Prakriti can do magic. Okay, so that is what he's going to say here also. And just like that, father and mother are required to create similar idea. He's going to mention here. Similar idea is going to mention. One father alone cannot create, mother alone cannot create. No, there's no mother without father. There's no father without mother. That role itself is not there. Okay, so like that. So just a symbolism, right? And not that when we say Maya is Jadam, Achetanam, that you shouldn't take it literally. It means we should not, that's the Prakriti. We should not say women are inert. All these examples we should not take. Women are Jadam and all, we can't say. In many families, men are Jadam. How do you explain that? Jadam. They'll say in our families, it's Jadam. Jadam chalidu. Jadam means that's it. You are useless. Therefore, that's there. Now, don't say, oh, what about asexual reproduction or not? There is something called sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Means like all these buds, all these things. There's a rose, for example. You grafting. You just cut it and put it, the rose will come. And it will just grow. And it doesn't need any this. Bisexual is not there. Okay. And so, okay, there is some process that's going on. And if you have to find out that there is something there which triggers that kind of a reproduction. So anyway, here, Ishvaraha, Vagartha, Viva Samprukto, Vagarthav Pratipattaye Jagatav Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. Parvati Parameshwarau. And then Parvati and Parameshwarau, you know what? They are, but then they, father and mother are separate beings here, but there they are not separate. You can't think like that. Just because in your puja room there is Shiva and Parvati sitting. No, not like that. Not two people, my dear friends. Vagarthaviva Samprutau. They are together and inseparable, like the word and its meaning. What? Kalidasa, what is this? This is how he starts. Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitaro. Like a word and its meaning. What an imagery. You can't separate the word and its meaning. Like that, you can't separate Shiva and Parvati. Like that, you cannot separate Brahma and Saraswati. You think Saraswati is Brahma's wife? Yeah. Think again. Saraswati is in the tongue of Brahma. Means what? Tongue itself is Saraswati. Means what? Brahma and Saraswati can't be separated. What about Vishnu and Lakshmi? Yeah. All these stories, you've seen too many movies and you took them too literally. That's not how it is. She's there in this Vakshasthalam. And so, inseparable. Inseparable. Shiva, like they're having conversations and all that, and then all dialogues are happening. Shiva and Parvati also, lot of stories. Good. Keep listening to those stories. Someday we'll come to Vedanta. That's the purpose of those stories. All right. So that is important to know. All this is important to know because what? You know, when the creation happens, when Srishti happens, Srishti will have some properties, some quality, something that says, yeah, something has been created. You're going to look at the gunas. Something is some object. The size is there, color is there, form is there, and therefore it's born. It's an object. They have qualities. Now, what happens? The qualities of the karya, the produced Srishti, the effect, or where does it get the qualities from? It gets the qualities from mother and father only. Where else will it get the qualities? Child's qualities, half father, half mother, or some father's qualities, some mother's qualities. Both are there. Sometimes it appears as though they have neither the qualities of father. Okay, fine. That is a reaction happens, you know. You have to allow for all these reactions. We don't understand these things. Oh, he looks exactly like her. Okay, that looks only we can go. Beyond that, we can't go ahead. Oh, look. The way he walks, the way she walks. Oh, exactly identical. That's the maximum we can do. But beyond that, we are not able. So, this mixture of Purusha and Prakriti is critical for this creation. And the creation is going to have the same attributes as Prakriti and Purusha have together. Okay. That much we can appreciate here. And so we have to know, because when we are analyzing the whole, we have to know at least the basics of this creation. Basics. Swamiji says, hey, anything you want to master. Here we are talking about self-mastery. Self, who am I? So if I have to know who am I have to know. If I want to master myself, I have to know myself. Knowledge is critical. Knowledge is critical. And I'm helping somebody very poor person, and he has an MBA degree and all. His mother sold all her jewelry and all to give him a study, and but very poor, a lot of debts and this and that, constantly paying off debt. So I personally helped him in various ways, and very honest person also. So I was confident enough to loan him some money and all. This guy, he's worked for 5 years in a company. And the company didn't treat him properly. He's so good. Still, he didn't treat him properly. And so finally we decided. I told him, quit your job. What do you want to do? Look for a job, another job. We'll find you a job. He says, no, I want to start a business. I want to start this business. What business? They are making windows window, all the home windows, industrial windows, sliding windows, that kind of windows and all they're making, different sizes. I know how to make this stuff. I know where to buy the machines. And the one who was in charge of all these things, this guy has treated me so badly. All the employees in that company are upset. They want him to start a new business and they are telling him, we'll join your company. But this guy has no cash. You can't talk like this without cash in hand, What's starting a business? You want to make money, you must have some money. And so the guy has no cash. So but this guy knows the point I was trying to make. He knows it all in and out. Customers, he knows. Customers are calling him, saying, "Kuch na kuch karo." Because he's very good. He's the customer service, technical service, installation, everything he does. He has people we can do all that. So point here is knowledge. You have to know this stuff. You want to be a master of something, you have to know it. And anyway, so this just to complete that story. And somehow, suddenly, through I wanted to hook him up with some program, central government scheme. There is this website and all, tells you stuff, but you just don't know where to go. And finally, I met this bank manager, our own Ashseva Kendra, Karur Vaisya Bank, young man. And he said, sir, ask him to apply to PMEGP, Prime Minister Employment Guarantee Program. Then I said to him, why nobody is telling me all this? Sir, nobody will tell you because nobody knows. Nobody knows, then how do you know? That's because I just prepared for an exam. I wrote an exam and I studied all this. This is how it is. And that's it. That led us to this. And then finally, I helped him fill the application. And then the government finally, after a lot of back and forth, his application got approved. And so then that will go to the bank and the bank is ready to give him loan. Some formalities like that. Only 10 lakhs loan. It is not much, 10 lakhs. But this huge success for him also, for me also, it's a huge success because it is penetrating the government machinery. It's just, it's a different art, different way of thinking and different contacts. Everything is different. So anyway, point here is what? If you want to master something, you have to know. You have to know at least minimum. And so that's the idea here Swamiji was saying. And so self-mastery also requires knowledge of the self. And of course, that includes the whole universe also, creation also. Therefore, hey Bharata, mama yonihi. Yonihi means my partner. Yonihi here is partner. Like wife, right? My partner. Mahat Brahma. Who is Mahat Brahma? Don't put Nirgunam Brahma. Mahat Brahma, Mahat Prakriti. Brahma is Prakriti here. And she is also Mahat only. For this Mahat creation, mother has to be Mahat. You can't get Mahat creation from Alpa Prakriti, you can't get. Therefore, Brahma Prakriti. And then what? Tasmin Garbham Dadhamyaham. Tasmin Prakrityam. Okay, you are now in that partner, Dadami, Garbham Dadami. I give the capacity to create. I give the seed. Like that he says. Garbham Dadami. And and so what is that? Maya is activated by me, Chaitanyam, in the form of Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa activates the Maya. Maya has to be activated. And so the Chaitanyam gives that activation. Okay. I activate Maya, Prakriti, and of course, the word I is not there in the shloka, I think, right? Mama Yonir, Mama Brahma. Okay, Aham is there. Dadami Aham, of course. And then Sambhavaha Sarvabhutanam Tato Bhavati. Sarvabhutanam Sambhavaha Bhavati. The creation of the entire universe happens. Sambhavaha. Happens not disorderly. There's no chaos. You might say it's all chaotic, but there's no chaos at all. Sambhavaha. Samyak Bhavati. The laws of every law is out there. Maya knows everything. Purusha is helpless. Purusha cannot create without Prakriti. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Nachedevam Nakalu Kushalaha Spanditum Api. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati. Only when Shiva and Shakti, Ardhanarishwari, only when that is, only when the two are together, they can partner to create this world. Otherwise, it's not possible. And so, Sambhavaha, then after that, everything happens in an orderly fashion as it should happen. Tataha Bhavati. Ah, Tataha. Tataha means what? From that conception. When did this conception happen? Don't ask those questions like that. You should not ask like that. When it's supposed to happen, it happens. When it's supposed to stop, it will stop. When it's supposed to happen again, it will happen. That's how it is. There is the time itself is not created yet. How can you ask the question when? Time is part of the creation. This is the greatest discovery. Vedanta teaches us all this. Okay. And so they don't talk. Other people, they are not interested in all these questions. Even though it's not difficult. Once we get introduced to the idea, then it's not difficult. And so we can't say, when did this happen? Etc. That question itself is a wrong question. And so, tataha, from that inexplicable garbhadanam. Correct? Garbhadanam, can we say? One of the samskaras for in the human life is what? Garbhadanam. Once the conception happens, then they have a prayer, prarthana. They have a ritual. It's called Garbhadanam. What happened there? Hey, the Chidabhasa activated the Maya. Celebration of that has activated Prakriti. That's what is Garbhadanam, conception. Okay? All right, let's translate the shloka. The great Prakriti is my womb. I place the seed in that. Full stop. Thereupon, the manifestation of all beings takes place. Thereupon, the manifestation of all beings takes place. The great Prakriti is my womb, full stop. I place the seed in that, full stop. Thereupon, the manifestation of all beings takes place. O Arjuna. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.